What's the craziest time your intuition warned you about someone and turned out correct? 1. Hired a guy for our team who had a perfect resume, nailed the interview, had great references. But something felt off the entire time. Nothing I could point to, no red flags on paper, just a gut feeling I kept dismissing because everything checked out logically. 3 months in we found out he had been copying our internal processes and client data and was quietly building a competing operation on the side using our own systems. The part that stuck with me was that every single person on the hiring panel felt the same unease and nobody said anything because nobody wanted to be the one to reject a perfect candidate on vibes alone. Now I have a rule. If someone cannot explain why something feels wrong, that is fine. The feeling still gets a seat at the table. Intuition is just pattern recognition your brain has not converted into words yet. 2. My brother started making me and my sisters uncomfortable when he hit 14 years old. He was weird, did creepy stuff and we hated spending time with him. Once we moved out we went LC with him. We didn't trust him around our kids and even warned girls away based on some things he did that were borderline illegal. Caused a lot of family fights. Dad agreed something was wrong with him. Mom felt we were wrong on every point. Now, our brother is in prison for life for crimes against children I can't even fathom. Not just your basic CSA, but shit only the devil would do. We don't understand why Hess a monster, but we always knew. 3. When I was a kid, a family friend got married and they held the reception at our house. I got the worst vibes from her new husband, and decided to just avoid the party. I was seriously so angry, like why are the adults around her not telling her this guy is bad news? My mom said I was being ridiculous, she's so happy. Velp, turns out I was right. A few years later I hear he was abusive and she escaped. He then stalked her, relentlessly ruining everything she tried to do. She changed her name and had to remove every trace of herself online. Scary. Not glad I was right about that. 4. I met a guy through a mutual friend who I thought was super cute. He was also sweet and funny and seemed like a great catch. He and I flirted hard and he asked me out. I would have said yes, but something in his eyes just looked off, so my gut was telling me to say no, so I turned him down. 6 months later his face was plastered all over the news for murdering his therapist and trying to murder his mother. He is spending the rest of his life in prison. 5. Doctor here. One time that sticks to mind isn't so much what the patient said, but more her body language that clued into what was going wrong. Story. I was a medical student at the time and the city my school was in is a hub for human trafficking. I noticed a patient in the ER who had a pretty bad injury to her face was with a sketchy looking guy who was not related to her. She wasn't my patient, but I brought my gut feeling up to her doctor who then made up some excuse to talk to the patient alone and got her to help. Turns out she was a victim of human trafficking. I never talked to her myself, but I couldn't shake the vibe I got from looking at her and the man she was with. 6. Within 30 minutes of meeting my friend's GF at the time, I told my buddy she is 100% addicted to coke. No one believed me, said she was just nervous to meet people etc. Anyways, a month later we find out she's a crazy cokehead addict who literally spent all day doing lines, when my friend catches her doing a line in the bathroom. Relationship just went downhill, cops got involved, her ex was killed in drug-related incident and police were all over my friend trying to find this girl. It was insane. 7. I was on the freeway on the way to work, getting ready to pass a slower moving vehicle. For a reason to this day I don't understand, I decided to